Welcome back, guys, to another podcast of
Puro cotorreo.
Let's Go. Hey, so thank you guys so much again for all the good feedback on the first YouTube video. I was expecting, it was going to turn out bad, because it was going to be the first one. So I was kind of like iffy of uploading, I was like, should it be the first one? Should it not? But so many people were telling me, hey, just upload it. It's going to be the first one. It's not going to be the best, you learn as you go. So like it is, like I'm saying, I am going to be learning as I'm going. So little by little, you will see the room changing up a little bit. Like as you can see, I changed the backdrop to the frames and just little things like that. But, we're going to go right into it. Today I have two new faces, two new guests.
Two roadies.
Two roadies. Would you guys like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Shayla. People call me Shay.
Hi, I'm Laura. People call me Laura.
Laurita.
Anything you guys want to say before we start?
I'm just so excited to be here. I feel like it's been coming.
Yeah, we actually been talking about it for a while, but we just never found the time. We were like yesterday, it was supposed to happen yesterday, but something always it's something's gonna come up,
Yeah.
But it's good that we found the time today,
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Honestly, saying when Shay told me when I was at work and I was just like, I'm so down. I'm canceling all plans.
Dude, that's exciting, bro. Because like I said, I want to get a little bit of everybody on here. Different faces, different voices, just so everybody has the chance to come on here. It's not always going to be questions. Like I have so many different ideas coming up, and it's just I would like to have everybody on here, give everybody a chance. Like there's a couple of guys that Gabino hangs out with more than I do. I know them, they're super close buddies, but he's just closer to them, and they want to come in here. We're gonna have it's gonna be a group of big, just a big group of guys, dude. So it's gonna be different too, because I'm used to just having just one guest. I think this is the first time I have three guests, with three microphones. The last time I did it was with only two, so they were kind of like sharing a mic, So now it feels a little bit more like professional, more cool. But yeah, so we're gonna go right into it. So this one's gonna be about kind of like roles and expectations. So let me know what you think, and as I go through them, if you think something different, drop a comment down below. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you're hearing it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, I guess it's fine. But if you have the chance, go onto the YouTube and just check it out and drop a comment. And, see if you think differently or whatever it is. But we're gonna get started. So the first question I have for you guys is, who's paying first, on the first date?
Yeah, go first.
I feel like if it's a date, I feel like it should be the guy. But at the same time, I always take my own money just in case. Because I don't expect them to do it, but I always take my cash. But they always end up paying, so.
Yeah, for me, honestly, I've always done it splits. Even into the relationship, I've always done splits. But that's just me always being independent and always feeling like they don't owe me, or they don't I don't owe them because that they paid for me or anything like that. But that's just my mentality.
Yeah.
But honestly, I've always just done splits. I think I rarely have had a guy actually fully pay for stuff.
So you guys split the check?
Yeah.
And it's always been like that?
Yeah, I think it's always on the first date that guys will be like, yeah, I'll pay full. And then the next date they're like, so
Can we split?
So
Can we split it?
They're the waiter's together, and then and you guys are just looking at each other, and I'm just
that's the most awkward thing ever. You're just looking at me we can split.
Yeah, and I was just I'm not gonna be insulted.
Yeah.
I'm a working woman.
Yeah.
I can't.
No, I feel the dates that I've gone on, the first date, the guys always paid for me. But I feel more on into a relationship, if we go on more on dates, I'll be I can split it with you, or I'll leave the tip.
I don't know. I think it really depends. A boyfriend that I was with for years, we always did it splits. It would be he paid for movies, I paid for snacks. He paid for dinner, I left tip. It's always been like that. Yeah. And so we just got used to that. Or even we would even just split in general. Yeah.
So yeah, that's how it is now. And
that.
the reason I wanted to ask that question is because nowadays, not that it wasn't before, but it's more common now that at least I think that women are a lot more independent now.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
Definitely.
it was like growing up, and I guess now in our generations and a little bit before too, and coming in after, most parents were like, hey, you know, you're not everything's gonna be handed to you guys. You guys gotta work for what you want and what you need. You know, it's just the woman became more independent. Like, oh, I need to do this for myself because a man's not always gonna be there.
Exactly.
Definitely.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I've been working since I was 17.
Me too, since I was 16.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So okay, and so who's okay on the question of who's paying on the first date? So let's just say, so that's if a guy invites you out, right? You would expect him to pay, or would you?
I wouldn't
If he says, "Hey, you know, let's go on a date here," like, you know, would you expect him to pay
I wouldn't.
if he was the one inviting?
I don't expect anybody to pay for me because I'm able to pay for myself.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just like, I'm not gonna expect anybody to pay for me. Yeah, if he offers and he's just like, oh hey, like, you know, it's on me tonight, like order whatever you want, things like that. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll get the most expensive thing.
Have the shrimp and lobster.
I was just like, in the beginning, are we splitting? Okay, I'll take the salad. Nah, but like honestly, like it's just always like,
Yeah.
I've just always done that. Like I'm always prepared to pay for myself because I can.
I'm prepared to pay for myself, but I expect him to pay. Like if he asks me, hey, let's go on a date. I don't know. I just feel like it's gentleman-like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, I always carry my own money, just in case he didn't think that or whatever. I always carry my own money.
Mm-hmm. So, what if? Now flip that around. What if the woman or the girl said, "Hey, you know, let's go on a date here." What if she was the first one to put on that? You know.
Honestly, I'm always been one to. I'm very independent. That I'll be one to pay for a date.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like that. Like, especially if I'm inviting you out, like I'll be like, no. Like, I'm paying for you.
Yeah.
But that's me because obviously, as you say, like I'm inviting you out. Like, why would I expect you to pay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe that's the same way in the guy's perspective. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. For me, like I just never expect anybody to pay for me. But I would expect to pay for them.
Yeah.
If I invite them out.
You see, that's how it is. You know, like that's how it kind of is. Like, so if the guy invites, it's usually the guy's gonna pay. If the girl invites, you know, sometimes the guy feels like shit. No, like, you know, I should still pay. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
get you.
most of the time, there's that argument where that woman is like, you know, like, no, I'm inviting, I'm gonna pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's the
or
reason for
the other
invitation.
way, like
Yeah.
if the guy's like no, or have you ever felt like in a situation where the guy's like, I'm not paying for you, like.
Well, you see, so
like pay for your own food.
I've heard somebody
Separate.
split the tab.
Not even a head
Down the middle.
together. No, split.
You go to the restroom and the tab's already split. Babe, your tab's right there.
No.
I already paid mine.
So that happens to a lot of people, and I heard this on somebody else's podcast where they were talking about, you know, let's just say it's the first date, right?
Yeah.
You're talking to someone, you meet them on a dating app or social media, you know, they look totally different on social media than what they do in person, or the dating app rather than they do in person. So you go to that first date, not that it's right, but you go to that first date and that person looks nothing
Yeah.
or acts nothing the way they did.
I would dip.
Honestly, it sounds pretty shitty, but it's just like, you know, I would go on a date, maybe get to know the person. You never know. Like, maybe it is truly the person that you end up liking.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I think it always depends on how the date goes. That's what I think. If the date goes good, then you're like, hey, maybe I do want to go on a second date. I'll pay for this person. Or they're like, nah, like this person totally lied to me. Like, I'm not. Like, they shouldn't even deserve to, like, you know, be with me right now. Like,
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the situation, like how it actually goes. And the person too. Some people will be nice, some people won't.
What would you do, Josh?
Like what?
Like if you went on a date and it was like somebody you didn't know, would you still pay for them?
No. So
Like right away?
No.
Hell no.
I would
No.
leave.
No. So yes, I would, but that's just being me, the way I was brought up, you know. But there's
Gotcha.
people out there, and I guess I understand, but you know, I'd kind of feel bad to, like, you know, the other person took their time to get ready, whatever it was, shave, makeup, whatever it is, you know, getting dressed, goes buys an outfit, you know, just to be like, I ain't paying for you, you know what I mean? Or not, just not even that, you know. What if they're not dressed, not shaved, whatever it is, you know? But that's just me, you know. If I invited you and you're not the person that I expected you to be, I'm still gonna pay. But you know, I said this once, like, you know, I'm still gonna pay, but best believe, like, that night,
that's it.
yeah,
That's
like,
it.
if they text me that night, it's just like, you know, it's either
Blocked.
unseen or they're blocked already, you know. But I mean, I hope I don't offend anybody, but it's just that's just how it is, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't expect to like keep it going when you don't feel it on the first date. Like, come
I feel like
on.
there has to be, like, especially if you meet somebody like on a dating app and it's not somebody that you knew already. I feel like if there's not that spark, I feel like it's just like it's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, definitely.
for sure.
Yeah. I totally
It's
agree.
crazy.
Yeah. All right. So the next question that we have is, what is like the worst first date that you guys had?
I'll let Laura take this one.
Are you sure you don't want to go first? Because mine's gonna be a little bit.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, you should go first.
I think the worst date that I've been on was actually recently. Well, like, I think a couple of months ago, I met this guy at a bar, and I met him at Doghouse. Shout out Doghouse.
Shut out.
So I met him. Actually, no, I met him at work. So I was working, and he sat at my table, and Laura knew a couple of the guys that, like, you know, that sat with him or whatever. And me and Laura were like, hey, like, we're gonna go out, like, after, if you want to hit us up or whatever, you want to meet us up. So we went, and then we ended up at Doghouse, and we were there. I think I was pretty tipsy because I thought he was actually kind of cool. And then, like, you know, I gave him my number. He asked me for my number, whatever. And then a couple of days later, he was like, before we even went on a date, he was like showing up at my job, like sitting at my table by himself. Because, like, I would always try to cancel on him, like, on dates. And so he'd be like, well, if you don't have time for me outside of work, I guess I'll have to go to your work. And
Bro,
I was
that's
like, dude,
creepy.
what the hell? And so, like, he would be like, oh, I brought you a Monster. Like, I brought you, like, an energy drink. Or do you want Starbucks or whatever? And I was like, no, I'm fine. And he would still show up at my job, right? So I was like, whatever. So I ended up going on a date with him just because I felt bad that I had already said yes, right? So I go on this date with him. And super awkward, like, the whole time that we were, like, waiting for the table, when we got sat, like, I got a drink and I didn't even finish it. Like, I was just, like, waiting. I was just, like, shaking my leg, like, wanting for it to end. Yeah, I literally had to text one of my best friends, and I was like, can you please call me that your mom, like, had an emergency and we need to leave, like, now? And she's like, yeah, I got you. So, like, she had to call me, and I was like, can you please drop me off at my best friend's house? Like, I need to dip. So I ended up having him drop me off at my best friend's house, like mid-dinner. I was like, you need to get the tab now. Like, I need to go. Like,
And
yeah.
he hasn't stopped bothering her since.
And he hasn't stopped bothering me since.
You haven't blocked the
I
guy?
blocked his number. I blocked his number, right? I forgot I had him on Facebook. And yesterday he, like, messaged me, and he was, like, asking me, like, hey, can I ask you a question? And I was, like, super confused. I was like, what's up? Like, you know? And we see him out all the time. Like, me and Laura, and, like, we always see him out all the time. It's like he knows where I'm at all the time. And yeah, and so we went out this past Tuesday to country night, and on Wednesday he messaged me, and he was like, I just want to, like, fix myself. Like, why didn't you want to be with me? And I was like, bro, we went on one date and it sucked. Like, no. And I just never responded. I was like, I'm not gonna text you back. Like, why am I gonna tell you, like, why I don't want to be with you? Like, no. So yeah, that was my worst first date.
Dude, that's kind of creep though. Like, who pulls?
At my job.
Oh my! And just sits there alone. That's creep, bro. That's like, apart from being desperate, like, that's creep as shit, dude. Like,
yeah. And he didn't even tip me good.
At least leave the tip, you know, like.
No. It was horrible.
Alrighty, so the worst part about this date was me. I'm a great time, trust me.
She is.
So there was this really cute guy at Roadhouse one time, and I was like, man, and I'm very, like, confrontational, and I don't care, and I'll just be like, start a conversation, I'll just give a guy my number, I don't care. So that's what I did. I went up to him, I was talking with him, And he was sitting by himself. So then later on, I went up to him and I gave him like my number, and on there it said, next time if you would like a dinner date, call me. And so I gave him my number. Next day he texts me, he's like, I would like to take you out on a dinner date. I was like, yay. So then we went out like the following day. We went out to Cheddar's. We had a good time. He was a good person to hang out with. I don't think I would have gone out with on a second date or like with him. I thought he was just like a cool person to hang out with. We had a good time and everything. And he was like telling me, he's like, oh, there's this place called Longboards at the island. We were like, if you want to go, and I don't know what. I was like, tonight? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right. I was just like, okay. I was like, all I got to do is turn in an assignment and then I'll go and then we can go. And he's like, all right, I'll pick you up. So turn in my assignment. He comes, picks me up at my house. We drive over. I'm a very outgoing person. I'm just talking to him. We're having a good time, listening to music. We get to Longboards. I get this drink that's like this. It's like a massive Long Island. Has like 5 different liquors, like vodka, rum, amaretto, tequila, I don't know what else, gin, and it has cranberry juice and orange juice. I finish that thing and I leave like only like that much there, like that much. So I'm already pretty good. And he wasn't drinking that much because he was like, oh, I have to drive back to Brownsville. And Shayla and Casey end up texting me like, hey, we're going to Doghouse if you guys end up wanting to come. And so I'm just like, hey, I was like, my friends are at Doghouse. Like, he was just telling me, he was like, oh, like, you know, I live right at the bar and I don't know what. So, like, I like to stick around there. And I was like, well, I was like, my friends are at Doghouse. I was like, do you want to go? He's like, really? Like, and he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah. I was like, it's no problem at all. And so then we head over, we drive back. I'm literally in his passenger seat, just like having the time of my life, just dancing like I'm already like at the club. And so then we head over to Doghouse. We get there. He's paying for our drinks. We get 2 drinks and 2 shots with me and like with us, and he pays for it. He's paid for all of the like the whole night. He's paid at Cheddar's. He paid at Longboards. He was paying at Doghouse. And then we get another round of drinks and another round of shots. He pays again. We get another round of drinks, another round of shots. He pays then. Well, I start ordering drinks because a bunch of my friends are showing up. It's not just Shayla and Casey. It's a bunch of my other friends that I've known forever that you know as well. So I'm not going to name names, but... So then I go and I start ordering I ordered 10 Vegas bombs for all of us. Well, not only am I ordering 10 Vegas bombs for them, I'm ordering shots on the side for me and him. So I'm drinking double. I'm getting messed up. I already had that drink. I had 3 Dos Equis, had 3 shots with him, and I'm having double shots. I ordered 3 rounds, so that's 6 extra shots. I am messed up.
She was having a great time.
I was having a great time. There's videos to prove it and all. Well, at one point,
I think you were gone already.
I was gone. So there was a couple of our friends that we've known from middle school that were there, but then a couple more show up. And so then when they show up, I'm like, oh my God, hi. And I'm hugging them, whatever. Later on, when I'm gone, I go up to one of them and I grab onto his junk. When I have a perfectly good date over there and I'm like, mine.
In front of him.
In front of him.
And he saw.
I don't know. I was too gone to even know he was there anymore. And I go up and I went up to another one and I was like, mine. The worst. I have no idea, but my date left me. I don't know when.
I literally looked at her. Me and Casey were there and we were watching, and I was like, someone needs to tell her something now, before she does something she's gonna regret. So me and Casey walk over because these guys are Laura's there grabbing them, right? Both of them, she went fast, with both of her hands. She's like, mine.
She just said mine.
Yeah, that's all she said. She went there and went with her hand.
What I wanted.
She went mine, and I looked at her and I was like, oh my God. So
you gotta love an upfront woman.
And the guys were looking at us because we were in front of them, and the guys were like, please help, help now. So me and Casey go over and I'm like, no, Laura, this one's mine. And Casey's like, this one's mine. But just to get her, and she was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry.
And me being all drunk and still a good friend, I'm like,
She's like, okay, I'm sorry.
I'm like, all right.
If these are yours, I won't touch. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And I just left.
Dude,
I was like, okay.
and I literally told him, I'm like, bro, your date left. Like, he bounced. Like, he just dipped. And then, like, the whole night, she was just fucked up. Like, it was bad.
I was so messed up. Friends were trying to fight over who to take me home. Supposedly, I made out with somebody.
She was rubbing on a tree with somebody.
I was on a tree with somebody for some reason. I got home. My friend was holding my hair back and I was vomiting.
And her date still has her sweater.
Yeah, he texted me the next day. He was like, just let me know when I can drop off your sweater.
And she went blocked.
And I didn't block him, but I never texted him back because I was just like, I don't want to face you.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is a story.
Dude, literally, this happened like in April. This happened like not even too long ago.
We love that story.
It's my favorite story
That was
to
like
tell.
2 months ago.
Dude,
Or
literally.
like a month ago.
It literally, like a month and a half.
Jeez.
Dude,
Yeah.
literally.
All through that end of the story, as soon as he left, my jaw was like,
Yeah, he was probably like, what the fuck? I mean, what would he think? Like, what would happen? What would you think if you went out with somebody
And that
she was
happened.
doing that?
and I saw her go, mine. Bruh,
And she's
you're not
there
mine,
with
bro. I'd probably do the same thing
Yeah,
like the
you
guy
probably
did.
did, yeah.
I'd so dip.
Yeah, because if he was just gonna sit there, he was just like watching her, and he
So-
was pretty good. Like, he wasn't drunk at all.
When you noticed, or like when the girls told you that he was gone, what was your reaction? Or like, there was like no fucks given.
I was just like,
That's really
I
what
was
I
like-
told her. I was like, your date left, and she went.
Jeez.
That's
They
what
were-
she did.
we were playing Bad Bunny.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's because, like, as I said, like, it's no excuse for the way that I acted. Like, I was just way too drunk, and I don't know, like, I'm very confrontational even when I'm sober. So, like, imagine when I'm drunk. Like, I gave this guy my number when I was sober. So, imagine when I'm drunk. Like, of course, like, not of course, but, like, obviously, like, I was gonna do something like that. So, that was the worst thing. And so, like, it's worse that it wasn't with the person that I was with. But, honestly, like, as I said, like, I was already in my mind, like, I wasn't gonna have a second date with this guy. Like, I thought he was cool. I would love to hang out with him again. He was badass. Like, I had a good time with him. But I would not have gone on a second date. Yeah, so, like, it's no excuse for my behavior at all. And I've apologized to those people in advance. In advance to this podcast. The day after. Yeah, but other than that, like, yeah, it's hilarious. I never would have thought that I would be somebody's first date horror story, but here I am.
Jeez.
A great time.
I wonder what his side would be.
Right?
too.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Let's call him.
I'm gonna give you his number and he's gonna come on the podcast.
Josh's gonna be like, so.
So I heard you were the guy that went with Laura to Doghouse and she just started touching some junks.
Saying mine.
Saying mine.
Dude, it was hilarious.
I was manifesting.
I was literally at the bar top. I turned around and looked at her and I went. I had no words. I looked at Casey and I was like, she did not just do that right now. And Casey's like, go get her. Like,
And look, this is what I have to tell you. Me, Shayla, and Casey have probably had been friends for like
3 months.
no,
2?
like from that time
Oh.
we were friends for like 5 days. For
I
like 5 days.
I had just met Laura. Yeah.
We had just met. Like, of course, I've known Shayla since middle school, but like we really didn't hang out or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like.
Yeah, because I went back to Roadhouse like in April.
And then like I had just invited her for us to go out, and then from then on, like, we started going out, and probably not even 5 days, bro. Probably like 2 days, because we went out that Thursday, and then we went out Saturday.
Yeah.
How-
And I was
how
taking
are
care
you
of her.
my
Like, I had just met her, like, you know, again, because we did go to middle school together, but I was already taking care of her. I was like, dude, like, you should not be doing that. Like, do not be grabbing
Why
guys.
are you my friend? Oh my god.
I was like, why are you grabbing their, like, no, don't do that.
She was like, the balls on her, and I'm like, the balls on them.
And I was just like, I looked at her and I was like, dude, these are all mine. Like, all of them. So I literally grabbed them all at the same time and I was like, these are all mine. Like, do not touch. Like, just
And
trying to
me-
take care of them, you know what I mean? Like, taking care of the guys. And she was like, oh, like, you're fine. She's so, like, sweet when she's drunk, too. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not going to try
I'm
to make
still conscious of what I'm doing, so
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay. Oh, God. I'm so sweet, but, oh, God, at the same time.
So to this day,
So cringe.
have you spoke to him or has he like shot you a message or anything?
Like, my date?
That guy, yeah.
Just that message about my sweater,
The
and I was
sweater.
just like, oh, I was like, I'm gonna be busy this week. I was like, I'll let you know when. And then, like, I never did.
Yeah, they're, like, on his bed. And he's like,
Laura. He's like, when am I gonna see her?
please text me back.
Why didn't she say mine?
Laura's like, it's okay. I have, like, 15 more of those. It's fine. You can
Dude.
keep it.
Dude, literally, thank you. One less sweater in my closet.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dude,
Dude, that's a story.
That's a
It's
It's
story.
a fucking story.
End podcast. That's it.
That's it. Cut it.
You're welcome.
Dude, that's crazy.
Literally.
Wow.
Josh doesn't even know how to move on from
Yeah,
that.
dude, I'm so
He's so
shook, bro.
shook.
I told you.
Dude. So the next one, I still can't remember that. Mine, you know. Okay.
Her little hands.
Still grabbing on so much. I was like, yeet.
Dude. Oh my god. Okay, so when do you guys think a guy should start like showing affection?
Like if you're in a relationship or like if you're dating.
Okay, so with that question of like when you think the guy or the man should start showing affection, whether it's what are your like I guess opinions on when you first start dating, when you've been like I guess yeah, like when you're barely getting into that relationship, like let's just say you're a couple of dates in, you know.
yeah.
When do you think it's like in the very beginning? Because there's some guys that it's like the first date and they're already, you know, trying to be all touchy, trying to be, you know.
Yeah.
So when do you guys think?
So for me, I really don't think a first date's like a good date to do that. Because I feel like I have to feel the person out first. Not literally feel them out, but like, especially after the last time. He's like, okay. But like, I think you feel like you have to get to know the person, like, first of all. So I don't think like a first date's like the great time. But I feel like if you guys go on a second date and things are still going good, I feel like slowly start then, like, you know, the hugs, the arm around, like the shoulder, little hand, like holding, like, you know, slowly start. Like if things are going good, like if she truly wants to go on a second date, obviously you did something right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for me because I'm a very affectionate person. Like even with my friends, like I'm so affectionate. Like I'll literally go up to Shayla and like at work or like Isaiah or like anybody, like I'll just like be like like I'll just put like my head on my like on their shoulder. I'll be hugging them. Like I'm just an affectionate person in general. Yeah, even with like Casey, and Casey will shush me off and I'm like, okay, she's not affectionate.
She's not at all.
She's not.
But for me, I feel like maybe are you talking about like first base, second base, like things like that, like on a first date?
Yeah,
Or, like,
well,
or just showing affection, like
just
go
showing
back-
affection in general because
yeah.
like kind of like okay, when people go on a first date, it's more like hey, you know, like
I think it's very awkward on a first date. I love first dates, but they're very awkward, especially if you don't know the person. But I don't know. I feel like the first date, like Lara said, like a little hand holding, or like if you're at a movie, he puts his arm around your shoulder. I think that's nice, like for a first date.
Oh no, not for a first date. For a first date, I will look at your hand and be like,
What?
what's that?
But I feel like if I really like the person, but if
But
it's,
how do you like the person if the first date's at the movies?
No,
like, you're
like
not
if
talking
I've
to them.
if I've known them for a while, like if they were my friend and he's like, hey, let's go on a date or something.
I feel like still even then.
Yeah.
Because I don't know them as a relationship type.
Yeah.
Besides the crazy exes that they tell me about. Quotations. We'll find out about that one.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like Laura said, like it should start slowly. Especially if like Laura said, like if you go on a second date, you're doing something right. You know? Like you caught her interest.
Exactly.
so you think by the second date?
I
that's
feel
By
like
the second date, it's fine, yeah.
But I feel like it also depends on the person. Like I feel like me and Shayla are both very affectionate people.
I'm a very affectionate person.
Yeah.
Like, super affectionate.
Yeah, so I feel like for us it's comfortable, but there's other people that don't feel that
Yeah.
out. Like it would take a while for other people.
Yeah. And I also love when they make me wait. Like, and I feel like guys make like, you know, like, cause I've gone, like when I went on a date with this guy,
No, if they make me wait, I take charge and I'm like,
No,
Mine.
you see, but
if you're gonna make me wait.
no, but I like when they tonight. No.
He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No. He's like, well,
Oh my god. No. I I dated this guy for I think like a few weeks. It was kind of awkward in person, but it was like we went on a few dates and they were kind of fun. So like he took me shooting and then he took me to dinner and then we went like on a couple movie dates or whatever. And I really honestly liked that he was respecting me enough to not even try to hold my hand.
Oh yeah, that's so true. I remember that.
Yeah, like he wasn't even trying to get near me. Like, he was very respectful. He opened my door and everything, but like he never even tried
that's
to
like one thing
put his hand on me.
I hate that guys don't open doors.
I love when they open doors.
I love
guys,
it. Honestly, out of all guys I've dated, probably I've had like 2 guys open doors.
if you're a
for me.
guy out there, please open doors for your girl, even if she's not your girl,
And-
because that's so sexy.
And car doors and regular doors.
I feel like nobody does that anymore, and that's so sad.
The
Yeah.
restroom stall and all of it.
ahead,
Go
my
right
lady.
ahead, babe.
Go right ahead, my lady.
Holding the towel.
You're really torn up there, babe.
But yeah, if you're out there, if you're watching this and you don't open the door, especially if she's your girlfriend, please open the door, because I find that so hot.
And not just that, like it's like a little thing like that like really makes us appreciate it. Like it doesn't really take a lot. Like I don't know, I feel like guys feel like we expect flowers every day or chocolates
No.
every day or
Yeah.
something, money. Like no, like honestly, you open a car door for me, I'm gonna talk about it for months. I'm like, he opened the car door for me.
That can even be a way of showing affection.
Yeah, that is a way to
Like
show affection.
that can be like a great
Literally.
first date. Like if you get off your car and open the door for her, that's such a cute little affection that like it doesn't have to be much, but that's just a little spark. That she's gonna be like, wow, like he opened my door for me. He's just not just like, hey, I'm outside and like going, and he's just in his car, like,
Oh yeah.
Literally,
Yeah.
honestly.
Okay, so
Totally
off of
agree.
that, what do you think about like those, or like, I'm pretty sure this happened to a lot of people, but what do you think about people who hit it off on that first date? Because there's sometimes where they hit it off that, like, get in bed together, hit it off right on that first date, and it just ends up happening again, because some people do need that to know if it's gonna keep on going, you know what I mean? They need to know how the love is gonna be, in bed to continue to go on, because what if you continue and then
the sex is bad.
the sex is bad and it's just
Yeah.
you just wasted all that time.
I don't know. I feel like it's very different. So
Yeah.
one of my like first serious boyfriends was literally out of high school. Like my first serious boyfriend. And we kind of did stuff like outside of like like that, but we waited like about like we didn't have like sex or whatever until like 2 months in. But then my next serious boyfriend, we literally probably like 3 days in.
Yeah.
But that's just because like I don't know, like I think it really just depends. Like sometimes
It's just situational.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I really feel like that. Like it just depends like on like the person, because like I was his, like with my first relationship, I was his first serious girlfriend. He was my first serious boyfriend. Like we had to feel it out. And then when I came to my second boyfriend, like we were both like each other's second. Like he was my second serious boyfriend, I was his second serious girlfriend. So like I feel like it really just depends. Like I feel like once you go more into like more relationships, you're just like, nah, like I need to know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it is a big thing in a relationship. Like some people say no, but it is like
I think it's like a big factor,
It
but
really
I don't think
is.
it's everything.
I don't
but
think
I
it's-
do
yeah.
think it does like play a role, because I feel like I've been on both sides. Like I feel like I've been on the side where like I've waited a few dates in, or a few weeks or a few months in, and I'm glad that I waited. But then it's time where like I've dated a guy and I went on a first date and we had sex that night and it wasn't great. And it's like, okay, well, like I still went out with him a few more times, but like I knew that it wasn't great,
Wow. Me over here, I'm like,
because I thought he was kind of cool, but like I would think like I would thought it was gonna keep getting better, or like I thought maybe he was just nervous because it was the first time or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I get where people are like, I want to know, because if there are people out there that are like, hey, like I want to have sex on the first date because I want to know if the sex is good, because not I want to pursue you. I don't want to pursue you. I don't want to pursue this, because it is a big factor. But also like I feel like we talked about that on your last podcast, like you can, if it's not great after like some time, you can tell them, and if it gets better then you can keep seeing them, but if not, drop them.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. Yeah, like it's just,
no, yes,
yeah,
drop them.
why are you gonna continue if it's
Yeah.
not there? You know.
Yeah.
But yeah. I just wanted to ask you that because, you know, about the showing affection, it just kind of goes like with it too. Because
Yeah.
there's some people who do it like right on the first date. Some people wait, and then some people like to for them to show affection.
So
a little
see,
bit
with
later.
me, I feel like if I would have sex on the first date, like it would probably be because like I'm probably don't want a second,
Oh.
and I'm attracted to the person, so I'm like, I'm
You
down.
see, but I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's just like
Mm.
to get the experience and you're done.
Yeah, exactly. Like obviously, like I was attracted to this person, so that's why I wanted to go on this date. And then I got to know the person. I'm like, I don't want this person after all. I just want him physically. So then I just want to experience that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what if that changed? You know, what if that changed your opinion? What if you're like he was like super good, and you were like, oh shit, you know, maybe I should stay.
Then I'll just continue just having sex.
Mm.
But nothing more. Because your girl just trying to have a hot girl summer. She's not trying to have a relationship. So
That's crazy.
just saying. Just for all the hot boys out there that are trying to have a hot white boy summer.
So that's, I guess that's y'all's take on, you know, I guess the showing affection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so our next one is, could you date a guy that was like super busy all the time and had like no time for you?
I think it depends. Like, honestly, I feel like it depends on how he would try to make time for you.
Yes.
So that's the thing. Like, even when I'm super busy, I'll still try to make time for my person. Like, even if I'm exhausted after work and I go see him for like, even like 10, 15 minutes, like that's something. Like, or if I'm there like for a while because I want to be there with him, like I will. Like, I've done that in my relationships, like where we worked opposite shifts. Like, I would be working morning, he would be working night. I would go see him after he gets out of work, or I would see him like in between our shifts. Like, I would be getting out of work, he would be trying to going into work, so I would go see him, or I would go drop him off stuff. Like, we would try like to see each other when we could.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because you see, I went through this. Like, I dated this guy for a couple of months, and he has like a really time-consuming job, and he works like Monday through Saturday, and he wouldn't get out so super late. And me being me, like, I'm a very like caring person. I'd be like, hey, did you eat something? Like, I can take you something, like, and
Totally.
it's like Laura said, the trying, because he was not trying. Or like people would tell me like, he has time to text you, he just doesn't want to. So I'd be like, okay, well then why am I trying to be, you know, a great person and try to be like, hey, how are you okay? Like, hey, are you alive? Like, you know, like, because I feel like it doesn't take much to just be like, hey, like, I'm so sorry, I'm having a really long day at work, but whenever I get out, I'll hit you up, I'll call you. And I would be the one.
I guess like that kind of like communication.
No, yeah,
Exactly.
for sure. And we talked about it a couple times. I would tell him like, hey, like, if you don't want this, like, you let me know, you know? And he'd be like, no, I do. I just work really long hours. And I was like, yeah, but that's not an excuse. Like, you know, you could have definitely been like, hey, I'm having a long day at work. When I get out of work, you know, because he would. Sometimes he would, hey, I just got out of work. I'm still in my uniform. Like, can I go pick you up and let's go for a movie? And then he would totally change and be like, I'm super tired, I'm going home. Or like, I'm not going to go see you or whatever. So I think it definitely is like the communication, and like, I feel like if you both want it to work, because it takes both. If you both want it to work, it can work, even though with busy schedules.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I think that's the only thing that matters, because I feel like it'll go like vice versa. Like, I used to work 12-hour shifts, like as a manager at Denny's. I would work graveyards, and I would either go see my boyfriend like before or like after my shift. I'll be going in at 6 p.m. and getting out at 6 a.m. and I would still be there going to see him.
Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
it's
I
all
would
about the
still,
effort.
or I'd still wake up like before I'm supposed to get out of my shift. Like I would go home, go to sleep, wake up around 2 or 3 to try to go spend time with him. Like I'm still making that effort, even those like I would be working 3-4 days out of the week. Even those 3 days, I would be exhausted and still try to go make time for them. Like I think that's the thing. Like if you want the person, you'll make time for them, no matter how tired, or even if you're just laying there in bed and just being there next to one another. At least you have their company.
Exactly, or just seeing them for 5 minutes, or even like a quick call after work. Like a call goes so hard.
Yeah, like on your way home, like you're just calling, you're just like, hey, just want to let you know I just got out of work. Just want to talk to you for a bit while I'm driving home, and then like you go home and you knock out like.
And that means so. I feel like guys think that women want so much or like need a lot,
But it's
but
really
it's
not
so
that,
not
you know?
like that.
It's not.
I like honestly, I would
So
like.
the
I was
little
so happy.
things.
Yeah, it's little things like when he would text me like, "Good morning." I'd be like, "Oh my god," like you know. But because like I expected so little like from him because I knew he had such a time consuming job.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's all about effort. You know.
I think, yeah, that's a big thing about it. I would definitely date somebody that wouldn't really have time for me, but as long as he made the effort to try to at least make a little time for me.
Yeah, because there's even guys that work out of town.
Yeah,
guys, especially here in the valley, guys, you know, I like my sister, her husband works out of town and he still makes time to talk to her. Hey, I just woke up. Even though she's asleep, she knows, okay, well, like, you know, he's already awake or whatever. And he'll call her during his break because I'm pretty sure, like, everybody gets a break.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not going to tell me no, you know? And I would know because he would tell me, like, oh, I'm eating here. And I would see that he would post that he was eating somewhere. And I was like, wow, you couldn't even text me, like, you know? So I just think it's all about effort.
And, like, I think, like, that's the thing.
Sorry to this man.
And I think that's the thing, like, even though I feel like there are times where we think, like, oh, we're so tired to text. But, like, it's, like, it takes, like, a four-word text, like, hey, I'm out, I'm eating, like, I'm tired. Like, it takes, like little words just to be, like, just to tell us, like, that. And we're, like, we understand. Like,
instead of us being in our heads, like, oh, my God, he doesn't want to talk to me. What did I do wrong? Oh, my God. Like,
literally, like, guys think, like, it's just, like, oh, it's not going to affect them. But, like, it does.
Yeah.
Like, especially when we're invested in stuff.
Yeah, really especially if it's been a couple of months that you've been dating this guy already.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, like, bro, like, you couldn't even have told me that you got out of work and that you're home. Like, I feel like if it would fuck with my head, like straight up, it would fuck with my head.
That's the thing. Like we care way too early, and guys care way too late.
For sure.
Yeah.
Retweet.
Wow, that's deep. Like it's crazy. You see, that's why I want to do this types of podcast because, you know, I have a lot of guys that do watch this, you know, and they don't know really, you know, and not all girls feel like that. Not all girls feel like that, but there's. You know, like you guys, you know, that's how you feel. And, like, guys should really know that's how a girl feels because then they're like, oh, like, you know, they go still doing it. Oh, I don't have to text her. I don't have to, you know what I mean?
Or the girl's putting the effort. I don't have to.
Yeah, it should always be that 50-50.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like, I definitely agree. Like, if a girl's not putting in effort, then a guy shouldn't. Or if a guy isn't putting in effort, then a girl shouldn't.
And I feel like you get that energy, though. Like, I feel like as women, or even as, maybe even guys do, too, like, you get the energy, like, hey, like, they're not as interested as I think they are, or they're not as interested as I am, because I definitely got that vibe from this guy.
Definitely. Like, we sense it. Like, a guy thinks we don't sense where, like, a little shift and change happens. Like, where they're like, oh, we don't have to text her. And that day we'll sense we're like, why isn't he, like, telling me anything? Or why isn't he texting me?
I was out here making this guy breakfast.
Exactly, bro.
Breakfast.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry to this man.
Dude, like, literally. Like, that's the thing.
Did
like,
not appreciate it.
No, and that's why, honestly, like, I feel like it, like, men... Maybe not all men. I'm pretty sure not all men, right? But they, you know,
the boys out there.
The boys. I would say boys because if you're a man, you wouldn't be acting like this.
Exactly.
But like, I feel like when you put a lot of investment into somebody because you like them, I'm the kind of person, and I think Laura's the same way, that I give a lot of myself way too early, and I want to take. I'm such a nurture. That I want to take care of you, and like I want to feed you, and I want to make sure you're okay. I want to like, you know, make sure you have everything. And when you're not reciprocating the energy, like I feel like shit, because I'm like, well, like I'm doing all of this stuff, and that's why a lot of people are like, well, I won't do that stuff until he's my boyfriend.
So see, that's where I feel like you and me are very much alike. Like I feel like there's a lot of parts like when I'm in the talking stage, or if I'm just doing my bullshit, like I'm just like, you know, having my fun, then like that's one thing. But like when we come into like relationships or we're serious about something, we're very alike, because I'm the same way.
I'm
like
the same way.
I give like, once I'm into somebody, I give like 150% of myself.
And then my friends would be like, "You're dumb." Like, you know, like my other friend would be like, "You're so stupid. Like, why are you doing that?" And I'm like, "But it's just can't." Like, I
My friend.
I know. I refuse. No, and I think that like I refuse. It's Casey. I refuse to be.
Casey Sanchez.
I refuse. Like I always tell Casey, I'm like, I refuse to like not act this way with somebody else, because what if somebody else does deserve it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even though this guy didn't appreciate it, somebody will. Or like,
And
that's just the person you are.
and that's just the person that I am, and I'm like that not only with the guys that I date, but with my friends.
Oh,
Like I'm
definitely.
always cooking for them. I throw it down in the kitchen, okay?
Dude, literally, she's cooked me pasta. She's cooked me breakfast. Like, she'll invite me over. She'll
Make
tell
her
me,
coffee.
Dude, literally, she's like, "Hey, Casey's over. Do you want to come have breakfast with us?" And I'm like, "On my way."
I literally made Casey breakfast for like 3 weeks straight. Like, and she loves my breakfast. Like,
Dude, it's so good.
and
And
my
then the
pasta goes
coffee
down.
and the pasta.
God damn, you should have brought some over there.
Dude, that's it. We're gonna have to stop real quick.
I'm gonna go make some pasta real quick.
We're
Be right
we're
back.
gonna take a quick
We'll be
quick
back.
break. You're gonna listen to our sponsorships.
But yeah.
No, but like honestly, like I totally agree. Like, and another thing that I feel like, even if you give like 100% of yourself, like maybe the person doesn't deserve it, but like
Somebody will.
well, not just that, like even though you give like 100% of yourself, like they realize what they lost.
Yeah.
Like later on, like
Exactly.
when they deal with someone else that isn't giving the 100%, they're like, I literally had somebody that was worth it,
It's
and I
too
didn't.
late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and I
Way
didn't
too
give
late.
it to them. That's why I say like girls care too early and guys care too late. Like
Yeah.
I
they
agree.
realize later on what they lost.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, so that's what I think. Like, even no matter how much it hurts me, no matter how much it like totally like crushes us sometimes, like with things like that, like I give 100% of myself, because I'm just like, it's what I should do. It's what I should like do if
And
I
it's,
really
and it's who I am.
exactly. It's who
Mhm.
I am, and it's like that's what I want in a relationship. Like, why am I not gonna give 100% myself when I want somebody else to give 100% of their selves?
Exactly.
So guys out there that are hearing this, get your shit together. Get your shit together.
Retweet.
You know, don't be a boy, in quotations, like they said. Become a man, you know.
We're grown.
Yeah,
We are.
It's not middle school, high school no more. You guys are fucking grown, man. Full-time jobs, whatever, part-time jobs, whatever it is the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna have a little bit of time to just shoot that one message, like they said. You know what I mean? It doesn't even take a lot either, you know. Like they said, that
It's not.
on their way home after work, get that call. Hey, you know, I just got out of work. I'm super tired, you know. I'm going to get home. I'm going to shower, and then we'll go to sleep. You know, I'll text you in the morning when I wake up. You know,
Yeah.
It's just something like that, you know, rather than just going point blank and not doing anything, you know, not giving that person, I guess, that, you know, that communication of how you're doing, you know. Like,
It gives us that validation that you actually care to continue that like communication, and that like that we're like, it's sad to say that we're worth that one little text, like to actually communicate with us.
a lot of times, you know, and I'm glad I heard you guys say all that stuff. And I mean, the way I was hearing it is just kind of like, it makes it seem like the guy thinks you're worth. Like, it's just, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we're not worth just like one simple little text like, hey, I'm tired, I'm just gonna head home and I'm just gonna knock out, and I'll just be like,
It's not even that. I think they don't even think that that you're worth their time.
Yeah.
exactly, like
That 10 seconds.
Dude, literally, that's all it takes. It takes, like, once they get in the car, they know they're, like, just in their car trying to find the right song, just trying to drive their way home.
And everybody has their phone on them, like, all the time. So
Oh,
you're not
for
going to
real.
lie to me that you don't have your phone or that,
For
like,
real.
or that you didn't have time to text
And
me
then
back.
even if you don't have time, like, you know you're gonna get it, like, when you're heading out or you're on your break. Like, it takes that little effort, like, just to us to feel like, oh, he's texting me when he's on his break, or he's texting us when he's on his way home, or, like,
Yeah, for sure.
it's so easy, like,
Yeah.
it's just that little bit of effort. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
another thing is, we're gonna hop into that. So this one kind of goes with the other one. So what's more important to you? Well, to you both, a guy that's successful but has no time for you, or a guy that's broke but has all the time in the world for you?
Ooh,
Me on my book.
that's a really good one.
I don't know. I feel like we all dream of that successful life, like having this house, having this, having that. But like, we all know how it feels to be lonely. Like, we all know that. Like, no matter like how young we are or anything, like we know how it feels to be lonely. So even though I would think I would dream about a successful man and that has no time for me and I would just use his credit card, I don't think I would want that. I feel like I would rather struggle with the love of my life.
Look, let me tell you a story my mom has always told me. My mom has told me that she'd rather live under a tree with the love of her life than to live in a huge house with no love.
I felt that.
I 100% agree with her because I would rather, struggle together but be in love and know that there's love in my home.
I love Mama Shay.
I love her. Shout out to my mom. I love you.
Dude, literally.
Then be with somebody and not be happy but have everything in the world.
Dude,
That's
facts, bro. That's
dude, literally, like I feel like you always dream about like, oh, I can buy this, I can buy that. I don't know what.
That's
Like
not
we make jokes like, oh, I would marry a doctor, a lawyer, all this stuff. But like, honestly, I would marry the fucking plumber. I would marry the fucking.
As long as you treated me good and took care of me.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the man that's gonna bring me like
Joy.
the love and joy
and
and like the laughter. Like that's what really brings a marriage together. It's
Yeah.
not just about the money. Like
Because you can even look at like actresses and people that have so much money and they're not happy.
and they always just end up breaking up, divorcing, getting on to the next person. Like it's just always what ends up happening.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah, and the reason I asked that is because I know a bunch of women to this day or like these days, whatever, they go for that man that has so much money, like they're super successful. They don't have to have the degree or whatever, or like if they do, whatever, right? They're super successful. They have all the money, in the world, that they just provide so much, but they're never there. But that girl, that woman, whatever, doesn't care, but she just wants.
But
She
is
wants the
security.
shoes. She wants
Yeah.
the person. She
but
wants
is
the
she
house.
around
Like,
our age?
no, they're just older women,
Oh yeah.
And that's how it is. That's the reason I wanted to ask, because there's a younger perspective and there's an older perspective.
Well,
But
I feel like a lot of times we're raised with like wanting a sense of security.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think it doesn't. I'm the kind of person that like I want to have my own security. So like I want to make sure that I have my own cash. I want to make sure that I'm working towards a goal to make sure that I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know a lot of girls our age that are with people that they have they're engineers. Their boyfriend's an engineer. Their boyfriend's gonna become a doctor or whatever. And their boyfriend cheats on them and they don't care. Why? Because they're like, well, I'm waiting for him to become a doctor. Like, I'm going to, wait it out. I'm going to push it through, or it's just a little bump in the road. And I'm like, why would you wait for that? Like, he treats you like shit, but it doesn't matter because he has money. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that's so, like,
But
shallow.
I feel like another thing, like how you're saying, like how you don't, like how some women, like no matter what age they are, they go for these type of men. I feel like the thing is that like in the moment they don't care. Like in the moment they don't care, but like of course when they're talking to you, like I feel like I talk a lot of like BS and I'm just like, oh, like whatever, like who cares? I'm with this person, I'm with that person, who cares? But then like later on at night, like you're just like, damn, like this kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like so I feel like maybe that's the same for them. Like maybe they're like, oh, like who cares? I'm with this guy. He's giving me this. He's paying for this. I have Dolce & Gabbana. I have Prada. I have Louis Vuitton. Whatever.
But are you happy, though?
And then she's at night crying herself to bed. Like
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like
Yeah, no.
people
I wouldn't.
don't see, like you see the the exterior, but you don't see the interior. Like, and people don't ask, like they never say like, oh, like people will ask like, oh my god, how is he treating you? But they don't ask, how are you doing? So like
Yeah, no.
that's the thing.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I would not. No. Never in my
Yeah,
life.
so I would not deal with that. Like
no.
I
That's
feel like we joke about that stuff, especially with Twitter era, like it's just hilarious, and we're just like, who cares? He's a doctor, he's gonna give me this, or he's a lawyer, who cares? He's gonna give me this. Like
But I think until you're put in the situation, it's different because
yeah, definitely.
like my sister for a while, like her husband was making really good money and like he just wasn't treating her great.
Mhm.
And it got to a point where I literally had to tell her, I was like, what do you want? You know, like, what's more important to you? Having a home where there's love or having a home where there's money? Because for me, I feel like I would rather have a home with love, you know? And I really had to put her in, like, a spot and make her think and, you know, be like, okay, well, if he doesn't fix these things, then, you know. Because I honestly, growing up in a home where my parents made a lot of money growing up, my parents made a lot of money, but my parents weren't happy. And, like, I feel like especially when you get older and you start having children, it really rubs off on the children.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, my parents weren't happy, but they had everything, and I had everything. But now that, you know, my mom isn't with my dad, and she was a single mom for a while, but she was so much happier, and I grew up with so much love, and it was just her. It was like, I tell her all the time, like, I'm so grateful that you know, that you got a divorce, because I feel like I wouldn't even know how I would feel about you or feel about my dad than knowing that, like, you were only staying with him just for the fact of being financially secured, you know?
So see, I'm the opposite. Like, my parents have been together for, like, since I was born. Like, you know, since my sister was born, like, they had been married forever. They got separated for, like, about a year a while back, which made me, sad to say, pretty happy.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't genuine love coming from it. Me and my mom are very close. Me and my dad are not. Me and my mom are very close. So I'm able to, like, you know, experience that love from her, but it's still all the time not genuine. There's other times where, like, it does not come out genuine, and there's other times where she does act like my dad, which is not completely correct.
Yeah.
As, like, a parent should be.
Yeah.
And so I've become very opposite. They got back together. My dad moved back home, all this stuff. And so, like, that's the part where I have experience where we just have been financially secured, but because, like, he's
together.
there.
Yeah, because they're together.
Because they're together.
My mom's living her best life with her boyfriend. Shout out Joel. I love him.
So, see, like, I wish my mom was living her best life with whoever else. He could be, his name could be Joel. His name could be, like, I don't know what else. I'm pretty tipsy already with this. So it's just like, you know, yeah. I wish I would rather have that for her, especially because I love my mom. Me and my mom are literally such caring, loving people. Yeah. That I would want her to have that.
I love Mama Laura.
No, dude, I love her to death. I love her so much, no matter what she thinks. But honestly, like...
Even though she thinks we're bad people.
Even though she thinks that I'm a bad influence on everybody.
My mom thinks we're both alcoholics, that we're all alcoholics.
And looking at our Trulies, like,
She's like, I still love you, though. She's like, I gave up on you a long time ago. I'm like, it's okay.
Same. No, yeah, but see, so, like, that's the thing, like... kind of forgot where we were going with all this.
That's the next question.
Honestly, but I'm just opposite of, like, Shayla with that. Like, my parents just, like, I don't know. My dad kind of left for, like, vain reasons. So, like, that's the ugly part, like, in him. And so that's the kind of thing that I don't like.
Basically, like, if you're in a home with a successful man that doesn't have any time for you, but has all the money, the home's not, like, secure. Like, I feel like the home life isn't great, but I feel like if a man who has time for you and has time for your kids, it just means everything.
This
so
is
I feel
why
like
I'm never home. I'm never home. This is why I'm doing this podcast right now. I'm just kidding. I wanted to do this podcast. But either way, I would not have been home if I wasn't doing this podcast either way. I would have been at Denny's.
Sorry, Zay.
My bad.
So of security. So this goes to the next one. So what do you think a man can do to make a woman feel secure?
Like when you're in a relationship with them?
Yeah, like in a relationship or married or whatever it is.
I don't know. I feel like it's just always affection and just like little things. Like it's not even about, like as we said before, like not about you giving us money, not about you giving us like this home or giving us things or anything like that. It's always just affection, no matter what.
I think for me it's communication. Communication is so important to me.
Communication is a very big thing.
I feel like as long as you communicate to me and tell me like, hey, you know, I'm actually really tired tonight. Can I just see you tomorrow? I'm like, okay, cool. Like I understand that you're tired. I get it. Or like, hey, like, I don't know, I have something planned already for this day. Can I see you another day, or can I see you later? Like, that's perfect fine for me.
I was thinking more like marriage wise. That's why I was saying affection.
Well, marriage wise, why I agree too. Like, I'm not married, so, but I think
Me
that
either.
but I agree. Like,
Winks
I think
into Mike.
but I agree. Like, I think there's a lot of ways of making somebody feel secure in a relationship. I feel like there's a lot of ways. How do you make somebody feel like secure in a relationship?
I don't know. It just I guess to make a woman feel secure in a relationship is just protecting them, giving them that love, taking care of them. You know, whether it's like waking up in the morning, you know, they don't have their alarm set. Say, hey, you know, wake up. You have this to do. You have to be here. Making sure they get there on time. Hey, did you get there? Oh yeah, I got here. You know, I'm gonna be done in 30 minutes. The 30 minutes come. Hey, you know, how's it going? You know, is it, you know, so and so? Do you need this? Do you need that? You know, giving them that comfort, that
caring aspect.
That
I
caring
love
aspect.
that. That's so true.
Yeah,
Right
honestly, yeah, you saying all of that, I just wanted to cry. I was I was like, what? You
crazy.
do that?
That's great.
No,
I
but
wish
yeah.
all guys did that.
I was like, men do that?
Your mama raised you right.
No, yeah. So it became to a point.
Wake
to
up,
where
Mama Guzman right now. I'm a thinker.
No, so it became to that point to where my mom and my dad, they divorced, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they divorced, and it was just me and my mom at once, right? So it was just me and her here for like the longest time. Actually, in this house, you know, I've been here since I was, I guess, born or whatever. It was just me and her. So she was playing that father figure and that mother figure.
Yeah.
So it was like real strict, but loving.
At the same time.
Teaching me what's right from wrong. And then my stepdad came into my life, and it was a funny story because they lived across, you know, my brother Gabino and my stepdad were across in the other house, which is now our house too. You know,
I love that.
Yeah.
So it was like
That's
a funny
awesome.
story. Like stepbrothers, and like me and Gabino were always together. And then when he came in, he played a big part, and he taught me a lot of the things that I know to this day of how to treat a woman. You know, what not to do, what to do. Just being the perfect guy, you know. And my mom taught me a lot of that herself as well before he came in, and he was just refreshing, and he was just like staying on top of what my mom told me, like, oh, well, make sure you do this and make sure you don't do that, and you know, and it just stuck with me. And I
love single moms.
Yeah, it was there. It's different. It's different.
Super
and those people that, you know, that have their parents together will never get that feeling. You know, you will always be like, oh, I'm a mama's boy or whatever, mama's girl, whatever it is, but you will never get that feeling until it's just you and your mom.
Until you go through it. Yeah, because like I agree with you. I 100%. I can just like off of that, like my parents got divorced when I was 7, but my brother was like
dude, I was 7 too.
Yeah, but my brother was 12, 13, around there. And so my mom had to really play this big role in like showing him, you know, how to treat a woman and how to take care of her. And like honestly, like I think she did a great job. Like to this day, like Brianna will tell my mom, like, you know, you raised a great man, you know, takes care of his kid, you know, always is there for her, provides, you know. And I think, like you said, it really takes for you to be in that situation to really understand what it is to go through that. Because my mom, like you said, you try to play both roles, to be loving but also be strict. And I think I feel like men who are raised by single moms are just like the creme of the creme. Like,
so see, when my parents separated was when I was very much older. This happened not too long ago. It probably happened because it's when I was in my first relationship. They probably they probably separated when I was like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
Like they separated not too long ago.
You were already grown.
So you
Yeah,
were
I was
grown.
20. I was grown, have gone through a lot of shit with my dad. Like,
How did I wonder? I've always. I'm sorry, Laura.
No,
How do
you're
you?
good.
Is it easier when your parents, like when you're younger or when you're older?
so see, I feel
like it's easier when you're younger because you don't know so much. It's just. But then when you grow older, it's kind of like shit.
But I feel like it depends on your
back.
situation.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you probably had a great perspective of your, like, dad at the time, like, and things like that. With me, at my time, like, I didn't. Like, my dad would really ridicule me and my mom a lot. Like, it's going pretty deep right now. But, like, my mom... Yeah, it's so deep. No, but, like, my dad would ridicule me and my mom a lot about our weight. And so... honestly, when it came to that time, I was pretty relieved. I cried only because I saw my sister cry. My sister doesn't cry. She doesn't cry at a movie. She's just not sensitive. I'm a super sensitive person, so I feel like that's where my like emotion came from, how it's hurting my sister, how it's hurting my mom. Like my sister that never cries is crying in front of my parents. Like that's just insane to me.
Yeah.
So I feel like it really depends. Like if for me it wasn't hard, I was happy. I told my dad that like, you know, like we went out to dinner, just me and him. I told him I would never want to like be okay with everything that's going on just because I wasn't okay with him as a person.
Yeah.
So I feel like...
But you still loved him. Like, I feel like I still loved my dad. You know?
My dad is my... I feel like my dad has always been my father, but never my dad.
Oh,
I say
love
my...
that. Oh, retweet.
So, you know...
Here, Josh.
I know.
It's going so... It's going
Tears
so...
are running down.
I'm about to start crying right here. My tears are gonna come out.
Stop the video right now.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I feel like that's insane. Like we go through a lot, especially when you're younger, when you're older. Also, I feel like it hits you the same, but
And a lot of people are gonna be able to relate.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
On
Because
all the other podcasts, I get a lot of people say like, "Oh, I can relate," and a lot of this,
one.
like you know, like Damien just left. You know, he can relate to the same thing because his he grew up with just this mom.
His mom. And Damien's great. Like
Damien's
you can
amazing.
totally tell when
He's
I'm
an amazing guy.
yeah, when I
love
see Damien,
him.
I just know he was raised by a single mama. Like
Exactly.
I love her. I love
like
Damien's
the way
mom.
he's perceived, the way
Yeah.
he's
So
like
sweet,
even
so
just the way
genuine.
he stands, like
Love
you can
him.
tell. I love Damien.
Like he has that loving side of him, but he also has that
manly side.
that manly side. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And that's what a mother brings. You know what I mean? She teaches you how to protect your loved ones, and you know, because that's all a mother knows is to protect her loved ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Her little
it
cubbies.
it teaches you how to protect your loved ones, your friends, you know, the people you know for a while, and then also have that loving side. You know?
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Definitely.
I love that. It's great.
Oh man, we could go on and
I
on.
know.
Dude,
Let's-
literally.
Let's go to the second
Yeah,
question.
let's
Let's
go
go
to
to the next
one.
question.
And we're gonna go to another podcast. It's like trauma.
Parental trauma.
Literally.
So, what are your expectations on a man's role and a woman's role, like while dating or married? Like, what do you expect for a man to do and a woman to do?
So see, with me, I feel like I never expect anything from a man, but that's just because I feel like I've never dealt with a man, like
So,
in
like, when
general.
When you're dating, like, what
Like
do you
it sounds
expect?
like it sounds pretty bad, but it's like my first boyfriend. We're young, so we don't expect much. We're just having our fun. My next boyfriend, he's younger than me, so I just feel like don't expect much from him. I'm the one with a better job. I'm the one making more money. I'm the one that's doing better, so I expect more from myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I always expect the woman to nurture, which sounds like pretty stereotypical, but that's because I'm a nurturer. Like I just love to
100%.
I love to take care of people. Like I'll literally be at home and I'll be like, I'll go ask them, be like, do you guys need water? Like literally Gabino has gone to my house like with all of us, and I'm just like, you guys need water? Do you guys want snacks? The last time like Damien was at my house and Isaiah, this was like a long time ago. And I'm like taking like a whole bunch of stuff because I'm like, I don't know if you guys want a cookie or chips or what kind of chips or like what drinks you wanted.
I think
So
I saw a Snapchat.
yeah,
you
where I just came in
like,
with
all the
everything.
snacks.
Exactly. No, it was that
She's
stuff
such
where
a
I came with it. I'm such a mom
She's
because
a mom in our friend group. Like she's a mom, like straight up.
unless I'm messed up, then I'm not.
But most of the time, she's the mom.
But most of the time I am because I'm such a nurturer. So I expect that from a woman because I'm a nurturer. I don't expect much from a man. Like I don't expect him to be like providing for me because I can provide for myself.
Especially if you're just dating.
Yeah, especially. But like I'm saying like more in the long run, I guess you can say. Like say you've been dating for years. Like I don't expect him to like pay for me. I don't expect him to like you know take care of me or anything like that because I can take care of myself. I can leave that relationship and I'll be completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it's different, but I feel like I all I expect from a man, especially if I'm dating him, is honesty and respect.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
definitely.
I think the money,
I agree.
like dating for the, like, you know, paying for the dates, like that's extra. Like that's just whatever. Like if we both have jobs, like I'd be like, hey, I'll split with you, or like, hey, like don't worry about it. Like I got the tip, or like I got the tab today. Like don't worry about it. But
So
all I
that's me
expect
always.
is like honesty and respect and
Mhm.
communication from a man. But I feel like from a woman,
And
like
even
I think
then, it's so hard.
no, yeah, it's really hard out here with these valley boys. But
Literally.
I think that's all I expect. Like, especially, and in a woman, I expect the same thing. Like, I expect, especially if you're in a relationship or if you're married, like, I think all you can really ask for is honesty, respect, and loyalty, you know? That's me.
What about like, okay, let's just say you're married, you're living in the same house, you guys are together. I don't think you guys experienced that yet, but what do you think your take would be on that when you guys are living together, married or not married? You know, you guys are living together. What do you think the man's role should be in the household?
I feel like it really depends on like the roles in general. Like,
If she's a mom.
yeah, because like
Yeah.
so random. But I was just watching a TikTok the other day, and there was this man that's like a really successful doctor, all this stuff. And there was like a comment somebody put, so like, how do you pay your wife for like what she does? And he was like, I don't pay my wife. Like, she takes care of the household stuff. She takes care of the bills. She takes care of what she needs, like, of everything in the household. Like, he's like, I don't know what the bills are even, like, how much they are. Like, you could ask me those questions, but she's the one that takes care of everything. Like, I may be the one that makes the money, but she takes care of everything. She takes care of us.
Yeah.
So even though he makes the money, like, she's the one that's taking care of everything. And I feel like it just depends on that role, like how equal your jobs are. Like me,
Exactly.
I feel
It's
very, I'm a very ambitious person. Like, I'm gonna go far in my career, I feel like, and that's what I want to do. So I would always feel like that things are still always gonna be separate, like how I feel like I've been, even if it's a movie and snacks, like it's gonna be, I pay the light, you pay the electricity, you pay this, you pay that.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I feel like there's girls that like are in a relationship that live with their partner and they expect for them to provide. You know, like, hey, I'm living with you, like you pay everything, like I'm gonna just stay at home or whatever. But it's like if it is a baby, it's different. Like I think being a mom is a full-time job, so being a mom is hard. So like I know that like, hey, I'm taking care of the house and taking care of you, making sure you have breakfast, making sure you have lunch, making sure you have dinner. Like that's a full-time job, like especially if you have a baby, like you know.
See, that's what the woman was doing, like in that TikTok. Like she's the one that takes care of the household in general. So I feel like that's where the difference is. It's like if he's working like extensively and then she's the household wife, that's one thing. But it's like if you have one job and you have another, like you both have jobs, then that's a whole other thing.
I'm gonna speak from experience, not from my experience, but
like,
from somebody near me. I won't say
Yeah.
who it is in case they're watching this. But like they you know, like I'll say it. It's my brother. My brother, like,
had one too many
No.
Trulies, guys.
my brother's been with this girl for a long time, right? And she's never worked in her life. Never worked. Which I respect. I think she had like one job when she graduated like her school or whatever, and she had like one job for like 6 months. And then she moved in with us. And she lived with us for a while, and she never worked. Never worked. I would always be like, hey, like, are you hungry? Like, I'll pick you up some food or whatever. And I don't know, it's maybe like my mom raised me to always provide for myself and always have my own cash, where like I always have my own money. But like I don't think maybe her parents raised her that way, you know? So I feel like she was always raised to, you know, expect my brother to, you know, pay for her, provide and stuff like that. And so even to this day, you know, she's a stay-at-home mom, and like my brother works full-time 100% of the time, always working, and he provides for her. And I feel like, I don't know, like maybe it's just me that I'm like, I would not want my boyfriend or, you know, my husband to always feel like he has to pay for my nails or pay for my lashes or pay for my little accessories that I want. Like,
not just that, but like your boyfriend's family, I could never. Like, that's just me.
I always offered, which was like, you know, the good part of me, but like I don't know. I think it's because I was raised by a single mom and a very like my mom's a hustler. Like, you know, she took care of the house. You know, she made sure I had clothes on my back. She made sure I had fucking food on the table. But I don't know. Like, I would look at her and I'd be like, bro, you don't want to work. Like, you want to stay at home. Like, I don't know. That's just me. But like, I would always tell my brother, I'd be like, bro, like, why isn't your girlfriend working? You know, like she wants all these things, but she doesn't want to work for it.
Exactly. Like growing up, it was always my mom told me, you know, like nothing's gonna be handed to you. You know, you gotta work
Exactly. And I would feel bad, like if I was like dating a guy and we had a baby together, and like he was like taking care of the whole house. I'd want to pick up something small, you know, like a few days out of the week, 2 days out of the week, 3 days out of the week, you know, just to feel like, hey, like, don't worry about it, babe. If I, you know, don't worry about it, babe. Like, if I can buy my stuff this week, or like, hey, do you need some extra cash for the groceries? Like, you know, like, that's just the woman that, but then again, that's the woman that I am, and that's the woman that I was raised to be. And everyone's raised differently, which I don't judge about it, but at the same time, like, that's just the woman that I am. So I don't know,
even think that I would have gone to start living with you. That's just insane. I just wouldn't. Like, honestly, like, my last, like, not even my last serious boyfriend, but my first serious boyfriend, I would have never done that. Like, that suegra has been the sweetest to me. I still text her.
My mom was so sweet to her, dude.
Yeah,
so
like,
I was so sweet to her. Like, I'd be like, let me get your nails and I'll pay.
Like,
because I feel bad to go get my nails done and then come back and be like, oh, I got my nails done. Like, but that's just the person that I am, that I'd be like, I feel bad. Like, you know, they'd be like, do you want to get your nails done with me? She'd be like, I don't have money. Like, your brother's not here. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I'll pay for you. Like, no problem.
See,
I'll pay you bank. So
see, that's how Jacob's family would be. Like, they would be texting me like, hey, we're gonna go get our nails done. Do you want to come? But they knew I worked, so I would go with them. And like, it was always nice. Like, I love that family. Like, I love them to death. Like,
and
I would die for them. Like, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so see, like, but I would have never moved into that family. I would have never moved into their home. Like, expecting them to pay for me, expecting them to like provide for me.
At
That's
the same time,
just
it's the way that you're raised, and then also like it's just different. Like, everybody's different and stuff. But I don't know. It's just everyone is raised differently. No, I'm not gonna lie. Like, my like
parents
Danielle always tells me, like, bro, it's because people weren't raised like you.
Oh no, definitely. Like my
parents raised to be like
my
you.
parents have definitely raised me to have a work ethic. That's why I've tried to work as long as I could. My parents have definitely tried to have work, like, show me like how they work and how, like, you know, how you should provide for yourself and always have like a stable income for yourself. Like,
my mom's always told me, you better make sure you got extra cash in case that man leaves you.
Exactly, bro.
That's literally her quote since I was like 8.
No,
she would tell me, like, you better make sure you got cash stored by. Every time you get paid, you make sure you don't tell him how much you're making. You don't tell him how much you're getting paid. You always separate half of your check in case that man leaves you.
Well, not just that, like, no matter what, like, I feel like it's a sad situation, but like, no matter what, most of the time, the court, like, if you guys get separated, the court will always make sure the child goes with the mom.
And also, I never want a man to make me feel like I have things because of him.
Exactly.
Like, oh, you have that? You driving that car because I pay for that car. Or you have that? You have the clothes on your body because I pay for that.
Entitled.
Hell no. I'll be like, bitch, I got that money in my bank. You just don't know about it.
Exactly.
That's it.
But see, that's the thing. I feel like I would never try to hide that things from the person that I actually want to be with.
Yeah.
I would just always I would just type on there, it's in case we get a divorce.
Yeah, that'd be my savings account name.
Like, that would just be ours in general. Like, I feel like it's a sad situation, but I feel like things in general, like, in life, like, people get divorced so frequently. Like, social media takes into effect, life in general will take into effect in general, but social media takes into a major effect, and I feel like that's what happens a lot.
For sure.
Yeah, it's insane.
So I'm gonna go into the next one. Do you guys believe in, like, the line or the word that the sentence that they use? Who wears the pants in the relationship? Do you believe in that, or like is that not a thing to you?
So for me,
or what do you think about it?
I think it's very insulting because I feel like pants, like, should not be like who wears the pants in the relationship, like as in somebody's over another. I feel like a marriage is a partnership.
I agree.
Like
A relationship's a partnership.
Exactly. Like you go in, like it's like you're going into business with that person, like quotations. Like it's just that, like you should be like 50-50. It shouldn't even be 51-49. Like it should be 50-50 all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I believe that's like a big insult. Like, who wears the pants in the relationship? Like,
I think people
we're
throw
both
it around
wearing
as a joke.
jeans.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Period. I am wearing jeans right
I'm
now.
wearing jeans. I may be wearing leggings, but they're jeans.
Maybe people also ask this like in a way of like of who makes more money, you know. But I feel like it doesn't matter. I feel like it doesn't matter.
Definitely. That's
Yeah.
definitely what
I feel like it
people
doesn't
ask
matter.
that.
But I feel like it should be 50-50, like the same way Laura said. I feel like no one should feel like they're above that person just because they're a male or like in their
Or they're making more than the other.
Oh
like,
yeah, for sure.
Like, say even if the female's making more money, like I'm not gonna be like I wear the pants in the relationship. Like no, I'm gonna be like he's my partner. Like
It should be like you should be on the same level.
exactly.
Like in a relationship, you should never feel like you're above that person. In no way. Like you should always feel like you're together. Hey, I make one move, you make it with me. Hey, you make this move, I make it with you. Like
not just that. Like say even if, like I'm very ambitious. Like say the person I end up marrying is like my house husband. Like he's the one. Like not just I'm not the housewife. He's the house husband, and he's the one that's taking care of the household, and I'm the one that's making the money. I'm gonna still say he's my partner because even though I'm making the money, he's taking care of everything at the house. He's taking care of the kids. He's cooking. He's taking care of the bills. Like,
I think it's also like the generation that we're growing up in now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the generation we are in now, it's very like the woman is equal. And I feel like before, I feel like even
It was
growing
always
up, it was
under.
always like you were under. Like even though you were, you know,
Yeah.
working also, or you also had a job and you were still going home to take care of the kids, it's like now I feel like women are taking that charge and taking that responsibility and being like, no, like I deserve the same respect that you do just because you're a man. Like no.
not just that, I feel like men even are still taking on that role. They're just like, you know what? Like, there's some that are still taking into consideration, like, men are, that they're just like, you know what? Like, you're doing so much at work. Like, why are you the only one that's, like, making sure that the kids are okay? Like, I should come home and make sure the kids are okay. Those are my
Should
kids,
be a partnership.
too. Exactly. Like,
yeah, that's what I
or
feel.
like you're taking care of the kids, I'll cook dinner, or vice versa.
Okay, you had a long day, babe. I'm so sorry. Like, go to sleep. Go take a nap. I'll watch them for a little bit while you take a nap.
Yeah, or
And it's like the little things that comes back to showing affection
exactly
in a marriage. Like being like, hey, I know you had a really long day. You know what? Like, I'll watch him for a little bit. I'm gonna take him to the park real quick. You know, take a 15-20 minute nap while I'm gone. You take some time for yourself.
I'm gonna cut you off there. And a lot of men this day, I know for a fact, they come home expect to kick back.
Oh hell no! I'd be like, you got
they-
your kid?
They
You
even though the wife is a housewife or whatever, they say, oh, that's why I have my wife as a housewife. She's supposed to do everything. You know, while I'm at work, the only thing I'm supposed to do is the dirty work.
Yeah.
Outside on the weekend, cut the grass or whatever. You know, it's not supposed to be like that. You know, sometimes a guy comes back from work and it should be, hey, you know, I know you had a long day. You took the kids to school. You made them this. You made them that. You took care of them all day. You know, I get it. Let me put him down to sleep. Let me shower him before he gets to bed. You know, let me do that. Even though he came out of work, I asked the guy at work this question too about who wears the pants in the relationship. I'm not gonna say names, and he said, I do. I wear the pants in the relationship. I make the decisions. He makes all the decisions. So whether it's like, what's
you give
gonna
me
happen,
a name after this so I can make sure to never date him.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
FYI to all the guys out there, that's disgusting.
That's toxic masculinity there. Like,
And we're not
okay,
here for it anymore. It's 2021. Get
look,
real.
like, I understand, like, maybe you have that mentality, but the one thing is that, like, it's like for me to be like, no, babe, like, you had a long day at work, I'm still gonna make sure I take care of the kids. For you to be like, no, I had a long day at work, you're gonna take care of the kids. That's the ugly part.
It's different, yeah.
It's very different. Like, it's me being like, no, babe, like, I'm gonna make sure you're okay. Like, that's the nurturing part of me. But then that's the toxic masculinity part in him that he's like, no, you're taking care of them. That's the difference.
Yeah. And like that too. Let's just say like you're with somebody, right? And he gets home, and your thought as soon as he gets home is, you know, you're gonna say, "Oh, like, let me do this because I know you had a long day at work." But it can totally change like this once he says, "Oh, well, you're supposed to do that."
Oh,
it'll be
no.
like yeah,
That
I was gonna do
word
that, but the fact that you
supposed.
said that is like
Because
Yeah.
at the same time, women, like, in general, women are nurturers.
Mhm.
So, like, I would want to take care of
Like,
my
we
husband,
will do it, but if you
but
tell
because
us
we
to
want
do it.
Yeah, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
let's say I was a stay-at-home mom, but my husband, you know, like Laura said, like, you know, he was making all the money, and I was a stay-at-home mom. You know, I'd be like, I want to make sure when my husband gets home from work, he has dinner ready on the table.
yeah.
But because I would want to have dinner ready for him, because I love him, I care
Exactly.
for him, I'm grateful to him, or, you know, like, I love him. But it's like,
He's taking care of us
he's
and
taking care
everything
of
like
me,
that.
but it's like, if he expects, I'd be like, tonight we're getting pizza. I'm tired. And
I
he'd be
think
like,
that-
no, you have to make dinner. I'd be like, no, I already ordered the pizza.
So see,
It's on its way.
that's the big difference in all of that. Like, we will do it out of love, but we won't do it because you expect it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because some days, like, in general, like, I have a long day. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to make dinner.
Like, I just
I
went
want
to
to
go
pick
get,
up.
like, I went to go buy a bunch of stuff. Like, I went to go get medicine for the kid. I went to go get
Yeah.
groceries. I went to go get this. I went to go get that.
I
Like,
had a long day, babe. I don't want to. Hey, babe,
like,
I have a
feel
long
like
day.
cooking. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna order some pizza for the kids, and I'm gonna go to sleep. Like, I had a long day.
And that's totally understandable, but a lot of men don't understand that.
Yeah,
or
no.
a lot of boys, guys.
Yeah, you're
man.
boys.
Boys.
Not men.
Once you become a man, hit
You'll
us up.
understand. But right now, you're boys.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on to the next one with that. Is can a girl be too picky when it comes to picking a man?
Yes. Honestly, I totally agree with that. I'm not gonna lie. But that's not me. That's not me in general. But I feel like girls, like there are some girls where they will be so picky, and I'm just like,
Why are you talking about me, Laura? Why are you calling me out right now?
if you're watching the YouTube video, you can see my face just.
Just calling me out.
That's just me telling you to hit up the YouTube channel to watch our video. No, but like honestly, like I feel like yes, like there are some girls where they just, you know, are too picky. They're like, I expect him to have this, I expect him to have this job and
Yeah.
this and that. Like, do you think a lot of these women that ended up with like these like CEOs, like these billionaires, expected them to like they were with them when they were in the fucking garage or things like that.
They
Like,
went through it. They went through it with them.
they went through it and they expect them to be like
Already perfect.
making that money,
Yeah,
being
no.
perfect. Like there's no such thing as perfect. No matter if you think the man is perfect, he's never perfect. Like
And that's where some girls, some women, they set up that, I guess that thought-
ideal,
and-
yeah,
No.
that ideal man in their
Yeah.
head,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And then also too, it's like a guy. They say, "Oh, like why is the guy so shy? Why is the guy so this?" Because they right away think, "Oh no, this girl's gonna be picky on it," because that's what they know. You know, a lot of women are so picky, like, "Oh, I don't like this about him because of this," or "I don't like this, I don't like that." You know what I mean? So a guy's scared to go for that girl because the girl could be so picky about it.
Look, one thing
he's
I
thinking,
will-
"Oh, she's not gonna like this about me." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just so hard on themselves.
Look, one thing I will always say is a girl loves when a guy is outgoing. No matter if it's like outgoing, like talkative, or outgoing like with your friends, because they will always want to introduce you to your friends, no matter what.
I
Like
agree.
yeah, like I feel like that is very attractive to me. If I introduce you to my friends and you're talking to them and you're having a good time with them, that is super
Or that you can have
attractive
a
to me.
conversation with my friends.
Or if you-
because
yes,
because like if I bring you around my friends and you get just like in the corner and you just like don't want to talk to them, I'm like, bro,
Like-
why am I gonna want to have you over? Like,
Yeah.
and
with
not
my
just
friends.
that, like me and Shayla hang out probably like minimum
every day.
minimum 4 times a week. Minimum 4 times a week. Maximum 20.
I see her every day. I
Dude.
pass by her house and I'm like, Laura, are you home? On my way.
She sees my location. She's like, headed that way. And I'm like waking up, I'm like, okay. No, yeah, but like literally, like if you can hold a conversation with my friends, especially friends that I know I hang out with frequently, that's attractive to me.
That makes me so attracted to the guy that I'm talking to right now.
Exactly. Like I love that about the guy you're talking to because like we're able to actually have a conversation. Like
yeah, my friend told me he went to eat with us last night, and it was just girls from work, and he's like, hey, it's by my house, like I'll hit you up, like, you know, I'm kind of hungry too. I was like, yeah, you can come.
Me over here, like that's not me. I was like, what the heck?
I was like, you can come if you want, if you're hungry, you know, like I'm here. And he you know, he ate, he paid, and he's like, I'm, you know, I have to go. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, whatever. And my friend was there, and she was like, dude, I love how he can like talk to us, you know, talk to me, talk to like Jenny and everybody, and hold the conversation. And it's not even just about you, like it's about everything. Like he asks about everything.
Yeah.
That's so attractive.
No, it's super attractive. Like guys don't realize that that's what we really like. Like it's because like honestly,
I'm into this man.
I'm a very outgoing person. Like
Yeah.
I can literally meet the person and I'll just be talkative like forever. So like
too.
it's a very attractive like, you know,
But I
factor
feel like
into all that.
maybe also girls can be picky in like looks. But at the same time, I like.
But I feel like so see with me, outgoing will weigh out looks.
Really, I feel like even if they're
No.
outgoing, I have to be physically attracted.
Okay, maybe physically attractive, but it will like outgoing will make my physically attractive boost up. Like
Not mine.
if you can talk to my friends and like everything, and like if I'm even slightly attractive to you, it'll boost my attractiveness to you, and I'll be like, you know what, we could probably do this.
Yeah, but I feel like like I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm like, if I don't find you, even though you're a cool ass person and like I fuck with you, if I don't find you physically attractive, I'm like, this is not gonna go anywhere.
But see, the thing is, I feel like even if you find that person slightly attractive, like once you find more factors of them, it'll just boost us up. Like even if like you say they're a 4 out of 10, then they're like, oh, they're outgoing, they're a 7. Now they're like, oh, you know what?
As long as he makes me laugh.
He does this. He's an 8. Like it boosts it up. Like looks isn't just the only things we look at. Like looks probably attracts us, but more factors keep
because
us.
you can be super attractive and be like a weird ass person, or like not have a funny humor, like a sense of humor, or be able to hold a conversation, and like, that makes you unattractive.
Or be able to hold your alcohol.
Yeah, like that.
I know a lot of people that are like, I guess, like good looking, but it's just
they're weird.
You know?
They're weird, and then like
It's
just like, and I would look.
It doesn't work.
I've gone on dates with the guys, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, bro, how? Like, how are you so attractive, but like have no fucking personality?
Yeah.
Like you're a badass, cool guy.
They will
and
always
I
have
take
that
you
someone
on a
out
date.
there for them, though. But like, it's
Hopefully.
just hopefully. But
I pray.
I hate you.
But no, like it's so crazy because it's true. And then you have those guys that are like, you know, medium, ugly, brown haired guys that are like kind of attractive, but kind of not.
Say his name. Say his name.
No, but kind of like okay. And you're like, why do I like you?
When we stop filming.
No, and I've been looking at them. I've been like, why do I find you kind of attractive? You know, and I'm like, you medium ugly. You know, like. Why do I find you so cool? And I'm like, you just have like a cool energy to you, you know?
Literally, I felt that so
like it's just
hard.
like I find you so cool. I'm sorry. No. I cannot.
Once we stop recording.
I'll tell you, Josh, don't worry.
We'll tell you, Josh, but no one else.
But it's like, bro, like I literally told Laura all the time. I'm like, bro, what do I find? Like, what is it about this person that I'm like...
I still wonder. I still don't get it.
I don't get it. I honestly don't get it either. I question myself every day. But,
Me
I don't
too.
know.
Hey, the podcasters want to know. The listeners want to know. What's
Hell
the
no.
name?
No.
As for Shayla and Laura part 2, maybe we'll tell y'all.
Maybe I'll tell you the story later.
Comment.
Hey, yeah, comment down below if you do want to see them again on the next one now.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'll say the name. I'll be honest.
Jeez. Hey, so on to the last question before we do close it out. So the question it's always, hey, it's always to the man, would you date a woman with kids, right? But flip this around now. Would you all date a man with children?
I have a great story.
So Shayla and I have had this conversation before.
We have. Actually,
Recently, honestly, we've had this conversation, recently, quite frequently.
Yeah, I think every day I ask Laura.
Yeah,
what am I
and
doing?
honestly, I would. Like, I have no problem dating a man with kids. Like, I would love those kids like they're my own. I would completely be fine with his situation. I feel like the only person that has to accept the situation is the mother of the baby.
It's hard.
It's very, like, I feel like that's the harder part. If the mother of the father, like, person that I'm with, and the mother of the baby and the father, like, accepted, like, that they weren't right together, that they should separate, and they're fine, that's one thing. But if the father decides to exit out of it and the mother's still hung up on it, I feel like that's the harder part. And where you don't know what to do, whether to accept the whole situation, if the man is worth it, if the whole situation is worth it.
Yeah.
But honestly, I would date somebody with kids if the situation was right. Because as I say, the mother is always the harder part, depending on their situation in general.
Yeah.
I'm actually going through this right now.
Really?
Yes, she is.
I'm dating a guy. I've been dating this guy for a while, and he has a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for a while I thought about, he told me, we went on a first date. I met him out, and he's my friend's, friend. So, but even she didn't know he had a baby. And so when he told me, I was like, oh, like, I don't mind kids. I love kids. So, like,
same. So that's why I feel like
kids, the baby's not the problem,
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm a very territorial person. So, like, the fact of me, I don't know, sharing, I feel like, not only, I don't mind sharing him, with the baby, whatever, but sharing him in the time where, like, he's like, I have to go talk to her about the baby, or, hey, I have to go drop him off, or whatever. Like, it's been, like, an issue for me, just kind of getting comfortable. It's the first guy I ever date with a baby. So, like, and I really, really like him. He's cool. Like, I love him. Laura loves him. Like,
I do, honestly.
He's great for me.
I actually really like him. Like, he's such a great guy and such a great person in general.
He's great.
Yeah, and, like, I know one of his close friends, and we've talked about it, me and him personally, and, like, we've said, like, like, I feel like I've never seen Shayla like this, because, of course, we haven't really known each other often, but, like, the guys have seen her with, she hasn't felt like this, and he's even like, I've never seen her like this. Him like this, sorry, my bad. He's never seen him like this.
Yeah.
And things like that, so I'm just like, it's good.
It's a lot, though. I feel like it took me a while to get used to it, and him being like, hey, I'm sorry I can't hang out tonight because I have the baby. And me being, I guess, growing up and my dad never being around, I always tell him, he'd be like, it's okay, like, the baby's here, but, like, I can step out for a little bit. I'm like, no, like, I respect the time he has with him because he doesn't have him often. So I'm like, you know what, like, it's okay, we don't have to see each other today. Like, I'll see you another day, spend time with him. Like, I'm not gonna intrude into, like, your time. But it is hard, and, like, I think also the baby mama, she's a little mean, but
And does she know about you?
She does, because he told me.
But she hasn't confronted Shayla.
She hasn't confronted me personally, so I don't know her. Like, I know who she is, like, and
it's just basically she's confronted him.
She's confronted him about it, saying like, hey, like, I know you're dating somebody, I know that you're with somebody, I know you're going out on dates with somebody, and I was about to say his name. He tells her, like, like, I really like this person, like, it's, it's something, and he's told me, like, hey, Shay, like, I don't want you to think it's just anything else, like, it's something serious, I want this to go somewhere, and that validation is a lot, especially with someone with a baby, but at the same time, it's hard as a woman to see, like, me being in, with him and hanging out with him and seeing her name pop up on his phone. It's hard, even though it's just about the baby. I'm like, y'all should not be talking about nothing else, like, Like, I don't know. It's really hard, but I feel like I really like this person that I'm willing to go through it. You know?
You gotta pull a Billie Jean.
Huh?
You gotta
say that.
You gotta pull her.
No, I don't know. But I
gotta
feel
ask her
like
what she did.
I know I would date him. I like him, and I hope it's becoming something more serious, and I can see it becoming something serious, which I like because I really like him. But it's a really hard situation to put yourself in.
And have you met the baby or no?
I met him briefly, but I told him I wasn't comfortable.
It's way too early. They have barely been talking for like they've been dating
for like a month.
Quotations for like almost not yet a month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's way
But he wanted me to.
He did.
He invited me out to like go
to the beach.
He was like, hey, I'm gonna go out with some friends, and like they also have kids, and he's like, I'm bringing the baby, and I was like, hey, like I don't really, and maybe men feel weird about that. Like I was just like, I literally told him straight, I was like, I don't feel comfortable meeting him yet, but because I feel like it's so like precious, like like. I met him before.
You don't just introduce anybody.
Yeah.
I feel like that comes more personal when you're like a divorced child. I feel like I would have felt that a lot more. Like if I was a divorced child, like
he's one.
That's like
he doesn't understand yet.
He doesn't understand.
But I'm respecting him.
Yeah.
Because when my parents got divorced, I wish my dad's girlfriends would have respected me and my time with my dad.
Definitely.
So I feel like I always tell him, because he'll be like, I have a baby, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, like I want to hang out with you, like spend time with Gael, whatever. And I'm like, dude, and he's like, no, but if you feel weird, it's okay. And I'm like, it's not that I feel weird, it's just that I've been through that, and I would hate. I know he's still super little, but like, I'm like, no, like I
would hate that person intruded in my time with my dad when I have it briefly.
Yes, it's like you have 2 days with him. Like, you should spend those 2 days with your son.
Exactly.
Like, I can wait. Like, I can see you another time. Like, but then again, there's other women that'll be like, I don't care. Like, I want to see you today.
Exactly.
And
I feel like that's the grown part of you that I love.
Yeah, I'm so grown about it.
I love that about you. Like, I feel like there's other parts where I feel like, I feel like you should always, like, work on, like, as we all should. But I feel like I love that about you, that you're always like, you know what, like, I should not intrude in that, because you know that.
But because I know from personal experience.
Exactly.
Even though he's so little, but at the same time, I'm still like, I don't care. Like,
exactly. Like, even though you may not be like fully, like in full perspective of that, like you still know.
I'm cautious of it, and it's
like in that moment they know.
Yeah, and I like him. I really do. And I don't think the baby's the problem. I think the baby mama could be the problem. But for now, she's chill. But I don't know. I always tell Laura and Casey, I'm like, I'll just cross that bridge when I get there. Like I'm just vibing, having a good time. And I really like him, and he's cool. So
she's having a hot girl summer, but he's picking her up.
He always picks me up after.
He literally does, though.
But yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's crazy though. I feel like a lot of women won't though, cause I've talked about it with my friends, and they're like, "Fuck no, I would never date a man with a kid. Like I would never date a man with a kid."
And see, I would. Like, I love kids. Like, I would totally accept a kid into my situation.
But if you're a girl out there, and you wouldn't date a man with a kid, tell me why.
Literally, comment below.
Because I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, they're so cute.
I want to know the reason why you wouldn't. Because there are some people that don't want to have kids in general. Yeah. So maybe that's a reason. But
or they don't want to deal with the drama of it. Or also because, I talked this about with my best friend the other day, and she was like, I just don't want to share. Like, I am a very territorial person, and I feel like somebody with a baby, I would have to share him.
Yeah. Well, not just that. Like, how we said in general, how we give 100% of ourselves. Like, they're not going to give 100% of themselves.
No, because I want to hang out with him sometimes and he can't.
Like, he's always going to give 70% because he's going to give 20 to his kid and even 10% to his baby mama. Like, whatever the situation is.
Bro, I was pissed the other day.
She was.
I was pissed. But I was like, I was in my head. I was like,
and it's going to happen.
I was like, Shayla, chill.
It is.
I was like, chill, you're fine. It is, but you have to go through that, like, especially when you're dating with someone with a kid, like.
And especially, I feel like in the beginning, because you have to create that routine. Like, things get way too serious too fast.
Because they have a kid.
Because they have a kid. Like,
it's not easy.
It's not.
It's not. Like,
No.
my best friend, she's gotten into a relationship with a kid, with somebody, but I absolutely love that man because he is a whole ass man, and I love you, and you know exactly who you are. I'm gonna send this to you when this comes out because you know exactly who you are. But he has taken on that situation, and I love him so much that
I think
he
it
has.
takes a grown man and a grown woman to
It
really
definitely,
go through that. You have to be
definitely
grown
does.
enough. You can't just be playing games out here.
No, definitely.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
And I think I know who you're talking about as well.
Yes, you do.
And-
you totally do. Because
Yes,
you
and-
know that person.
Yeah, and I've sent him that message as well, like saying, "Hey, man, like you know, like it's really like big of you, like you know, congrats." And I've tried to plan like a little I guess like a double date, just me and him and like you know our kids,
Yeah.
but we haven't had the time to really get it.
It
done,
literally
but-
makes me want to cry just thinking about it. Like, it
Yeah.
makes me so happy. Like, and that's not even just me because I've been, like, drinking a little. But, like, it's just me sober. Like, literally, I've been with them when I'm sober. And I see how happy they are. And it just makes me so happy because I know what she's been through. I know what she's been through.
And you don't know
with
what
her.
they've been through. Like,
Exactly.
Or even, I don't know what this guy's been through. You know, we've been dating for a while.
But you don't fully
I don't
know the
know.
situation.
I don't know what he's been through with this girl. I don't
Me
know what
and-
she put him through or what
Yeah.
he put her through. Like, I don't know.
And me, as her best friend, I know exactly what she's been through and the situation that she's been through. And I know all of it. And I love that this man has come into her life and totally make the situation so much better.
But it
Flipped
takes
all
someone-
around, you know,
but
just
it
takes
in a
someone
good
grown.
way.
It takes someone
grown.
absolutely grown and gone through experience of trauma that has realized, like, you know what, I want to settle down and I
Yeah.
want to be with a person that's like this.
I was trying to have a hot girl summer, but this man,
This man came in and
he's trying to sweep me away.
Hey, you know what? We'll have a hot girl summer with you, him, and the baby. I don't care. I will continue having a hot girl summer with them together. That's how much I love you.
Oh my god, I love
No,
you too.
yeah. But yeah. I don't feel like a kid is the situation.
No,
At
it's
all.
definitely the baby mama that's the problem.
Yes,
And there is a problem because there's
If-
some baby mamas that like.
that are
I know.
completely fine, that they know
Yeah.
that they should be separate. That's
I know
why.
friends that have like kids with people, and they're like, "Hey, I don't care. Like, you know, like as long as my kid's taken care of, like I don't care. She wants to call it. She want to call her.
Exactly.
She's a stepmommy. Like she can call herself a stepmommy all she wants. But as long as my kid's taken care of, and like as long as you know his dad is taking care of my baby, I don't care. But then there's also women or men that are like, no, like I don't want your girlfriend around them. Like I don't want your boyfriend around my kid. Like. Even though it's serious, like
Yeah, immature.
It's immature and it's
Yeah.
like disgusting because
Yeah.
it's like all you want is for. I feel like even if I had a baby right now and I wasn't with my boyfriend or like my baby daddy, all I would ever want, and I always tell Laura this, I'm like all I ever would want was my baby to be happy,
Exactly.
and I would want him to have a relationship or her to have a relationship with their dad, and if that means he wants to have a girlfriend, he can have a girlfriend. Like
And not just that, as long as that person
like taking care of your
is
kids.
taking care of your
If
kid.
they're not, I'll fucking punch you.
If they're not, and you know who I'm talking about, you're just taking pictures and
Laura,
just posting them.
it's on Snap.
then
I'm gonna send this to you. No.
I'm not okay with it. But other than that, I'm perfectly okay with it because that's
Yeah,
what matters.
Just take care of my. Okay, that's it. Just take care of my kid, and we're good. If you don't take care of my kid, I'll fuck you up. That's it.
Or my best friend's kid because she's my kid at the same time.
She
because I
is.
absolutely love her. And she's my daughter too.
Uh,
Smiles into the camera.
Hee.
Josh is like, I'm gonna cut that part out.
Everything stays on. Everything stays on.
Oh, nice! I like this.
I'm so grateful you had a
I
song. It
can
was
say
such a good
I
time.
can say whatever I want, and you won't edit it out.
No,
I'm so happy we came on. It was so fun.
Dude, literally, it was
Great
such a
questions.
great time. I really want to come on again. Please comment below if you want Shayla and Laura part 2.
part 2.
Part
And
2.
then you can ask us
Even though
juicy
they don't
questions.
comment, it's gonna happen.
Yes, and
Yeah.
if you do want to comment and ask us questions, comment below.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to be back.
Yeah, we have to. This was
This was
such
so
a
fun.
this was
Dude, that
such a
was-
great time.
Yeah, dude, it was great. All questions were answered. Like, you know.
So honestly,
It was like
I was very I'm a very honest person, but I think the person that I was very shocked about is Shayla. Like that she answered.
I'm a very closed off person.
She is, so that's why I'm very surprised. She answered things very honestly, and she was able to open up about the stuff. So like, round of applause for her. Like, I love that. Like,
here, let's see. I have a round of applause button here somewhere. Let's see.
There
we go. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Love
a
it. Like,
very closed off person.
so
I don't
see,
really
that's
talk my
like-
feelings.
So see that I think that's one thing that was very great about this. Like she was able to actually open up about stuff that she probably like couldn't in general. Like even with us, like even with me and Casey that are like her best friends, or even Danielle maybe. Like
yeah, I loved it.
but like I feel like she was able actually to fully open up about stuff, and I love that. I love that she was able to.
Me too. I'm excited.
I feel like that's stuff that she needed to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a lot more to say. Yeah.
Part 2.
It was a good podcast.
It was
Mhm.
Oh man, I got something in my eye. There you go.
He's like,
No.
all this comments.
He's like,
No, it was a good podcast. Everything was like well answered. You know, it was in the beginning. You guys, I still can't mine. You know? I can't get over that.
That has to be something like just,
Dude, you like that has to be like your like preview, like just like damn dude, I can't believe she just said mine. And people are gonna be like, wait, what?
I literally tell Laura all the time, like, please don't let Doghouse Laura come out because you will be in trouble with me. But
Dude, Doghouse Laura is just bad. If you see me at Doghouse,
Doghouse Laura,
if you
is
want a
me
good
on-
time, then come up to me. If you don't, then don't come up to me.
Laura and Country Night is Laura at Doghouse is me on Country Night.
Jeez.
Retweet. Yeah, you'll have to drag me out of the bar at Doghouse.
You'll have to wait for next time for me to tell you that story.
Oof,
Maybe
that
part 2. That'll be part 2.
dude,
Yeah.
literally
Country
that.
Nights go hard.
And
So
then
that's all
that,
the people that I see
and then that night,
that
I
don't like me.
Then that night I had Doghouse when I was down bad and I needed to go out. Whew.
Part 2 coming soon.
Part 2.
No, but thank you all so much.
Thank you for
coming
having
on here.
us. It was
Yes,
so fun.
thank
I'm
you.
so
Honestly,
grateful.
I had a
hope y'all
great
enjoyed
time.
It, you know?
We
I had
really,
so much fun. What
dude.
are you talking
Honestly,
about?
like I want to do this tomorrow.
I want to
Okay.
take this mic home.
Honestly, I'm just gonna go to my parents and be like, "So, what I want for lunch is Chick-fil-A."
No, but thank you all so much. You know, and this is what I want to do. You know, I want to get everybody on here. You know, even though like I shot a couple people messages saying like, "Hey, you guys want to do it? You guys want to do it?" And they were a little bit shy. You know what? On like, you know, not knowing what to talk about or like how they were gonna answer. But it's just kind of like once you're in, it just comes naturally, right?
Yeah.
You know,
It
you just
really
start talking and talking and talking.
does.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
be honest. Just be
'Cause-
honest.
I feel like, I mean, when I told you guys, right, you guys were probably thinking like, shit, like I don't even know what I'm gonna answer, right? But after you break past that first question, it was like, shit,
Yeah.
you know, it just keeps going, it keeps flowing. But
If you want to come on here, you definitely should.
Dude,
Yeah.
honestly,
It's a good time.
Look,
You
like,
got me Trulies.
Look, like honestly, the thing is that like me and Shalay are very different people. I'm a very open person. Like even if a random person at Roadhouse would have asked me like, "Hey, what do you think? What was your worst first date?" I would have told him that story.
I would have been like, why do you
I
care?
wouldn't have cared, and I would have just told him that story. And then like Shayla's very closed off. She would have just been like what the heck, like, but just like. Honestly, we feel very comfortable in the situation, like just being with you, Josh. Like it's been very nice. Like even though we've known each other like since middle school, we
yeah.
really didn't talk
Shout out
through.
the Longhorns.
Stillman Middle School, what's up?
Damn.
Just in case if you're going there, if you're listening to this podcast, you shouldn't be.
But forever repping the Longhorns.
But forever repping
Forever.
Longhorns. No, yeah, but like even though like we really didn't talk through middle school or even me going through college, like it still has felt super comfortable talking to you. Like
I love him.
it's been a very nice environment. Like even with Shayla here, I feel like I would have told you the same exact stuff that I
Me
would
too.
have
I
said.
would have been chill. It was just you and me.
Yeah, honestly, same. Like it's been a great time.
Wow, I appreciate that so much, you know, and yeah, I'm really grateful that I was able to get you guys on here, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because seeing you guys being talkative, laughing, you know, whatever, that's what I want to see too. And that's what I want the viewers to see too, you know, so they can feel comfortable the next time they do or they decide they want to come on.
Yeah.
You know, that it's just not serious, you know, it's not like serious talking. It's just about having fun, you know, it's not all like serious. It's just talking, like it's the name of the podcast, Puro Cotorreo, like puro chisme, like just talking, catching up, you know, whatever.
And we got chisme for you.
Oh, we got major chisme for you.
No, but yeah.
As you could tell by the second question.
The worst first day. I'm still shook on that.
Dude,
We're gonna be talking about this for like 30 minutes after this podcast.
I should have talked about the other one, bro.
What other?
Dude, the one of me throwing up on the side of the road, bro. And then somebody jumping me.
Podcast number 2.
Somebody jumped me.
I know exactly what you mean. Oh
Somebody
my god.
jumped me. It was insane.
Say that for number 2.
I'll give you the teaser. The girl was crazy, the guy was crazy too, but you're welcome. That's it. Next time.
It happened at Shanasty's.
Shenanigans.
Shanasty's.
We went to Chili's first. It was horrible. I should have said that story.
Dude,
wait for next time.
Dude, we're literally
that was the worst date I've had.
Dude, we're literally leaving cliffhangers for part 2.
Yeah.
So people could comment below.
We'll have to ask one like just about like small stuff.
That'll be good. That'll be good for the second podcast. So if you guys want to see that, drop a comment down below and we'll make it happen, you know. But thank you guys so much again. Do you guys want to plug in social media or anything like that?
Well, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's laura.anai, and it's spelled Anahai, just in case if you didn't know. And honestly, my Snapchat is lalaxoxox. And to be honest, I don't know my Twitter, so sorry about that one. That's it, though.
My Instagram and my Twitter are Shayla with a double S at the front, so SS Shayla, Reese, and then underscore, and then that's it. I'm scared to give y'all my snap. I'm just kidding. It's Shay _05. I had it since middle school.
I gave him my snap because honestly,
that's right. You can add me. It's Shay SHAY 05 _05.
That's where the worst stuff is posted, just so you know.
That's true. I want to see all the dirty deeds.
That's where all my doghouse stories and country night stories.
I'll add y'all to my private story. Welcome to my channel.
Just text me that you came on from Josh's podcast, and I'll add you to my private.
Hey, so y'all heard it. If y'all want to see like the freaking stories
the country night on Tuesdays, you want to see Friday night at the bars, we're there.
Ask for Charlie. I'm plugging in Charlie.
No, but thank you all so much again. I really appreciate it. It was really fun with you guys, you know, asking you guys these questions and y'all's responses. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. You know.
No, thank you for having us.
Honestly, thank you. When Shayla told me, I was like, I'll cancel all my plans. I'm so down.
I was like, you want to hit up Josh's podcast?
And I'm like, yes.
Badass. Be there at 10.
Honestly, I got here at 11 because of work. But yeah.
I'm so happy we came on. It's exciting.
Dude,
it's
honestly,
like long time coming.
Honestly, it's been such a great time. Yeah. I really enjoyed this.
Damn. All right, guys, so that is going to be closing out today's podcast. Thank you guys so much. If you continue to watch all of the video and hear all of the podcasts, if you're listening to it on Apple, Spotify, or whatever it is, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
That is going to be it. Y acuérdense que no se me agüiten porque esto es...
Puro cotorreo. Puro cotorreo.
Let's go. We out.